Hola, amigos. Welcome to today's um, album review, where we have a Spanish language theme for you. We're going to be reviewing Mi Sangre on Licor by Los Cuates de Sinaloa, which are a Mexican group. First time reviewing Mexican music, which is obviously sung in Spanish. I think it's our first time dealing with or reviewing or listening to Spanish music on our channel. So it was me that made the pick, so I will go ahead and give my opinion on the album. Okay, so I think this is one of those where if I'd have reviewed this previously, like when we did the first 10 album reviews, earlier last year, I might have been quite critical of it and just about pretty rubbish, not really my thing. But then we noticed a change in my attitude, maybe towards music more recently, where I start to appreciate music more, even if it's not really the sort of thing that I listen to. And I think this is a good example of that. It's not really the sort of music I'd normally listen to. In fact, I'd never even heard this sort of style of music before. So it's something new to me. And yeah, it was all right. It was listenable. And I wouldn't say I overly enjoyed listening to these songs, but I found them quite intriguing just because it was something completely different. It felt very, I don't want to say traditional Mexican music because I don't know what traditional Mexican music is. First time ever listening to Mexican music, but it kind of sounded like that kind of thing. It sounded very Latin American. Obviously, they were singing in Spanish, but I wouldn't say it felt Spanish as in Spain Spanish, like European. That's why I'm saying it had that more kind of, for me, for some reason, that more kind of Latin American feel to it. And I like that. It felt quite local. The music, the instrumentals were quite nice. It wasn't really loud, electronic guitars or anything of that sort of stuff. There was a nice singing going on. And one song in particular took my attention, and that's a potential song that I'll put onto my playlist. I don't know for sure yet. I need to listen to it again. But yeah, overall, something new to listen to, quite unique for me, and didn't mind it, to be honest. Brett, over to you.
There's not really much more I can add to that, Lee. That's pretty much how I felt about the album as well. Everything he said there. It was kind of nice to listen to. It was intriguing. Obviously, nothing I've ever listened to before. And yeah, it's points to like sort of traditional Mexican music. Was it like that? I don't know. Because the only time we've ever really heard sort of, I guess, that kind of style of music is generally cliche movies, especially American movies where they have to travel down to Mexico for some reason, or something set near in New Mexico, that part of American stuff, and you hear that sort of music there. So yeah, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It felt very much the same, but was intriguing. And what I probably put for a lot of the tracks is, it'd be interesting to know what exactly they were singing about. Like one particular song was saying where I sort of related it to like sort of blues music, where I think it's more about what they're singing about, a bit more sort of old school traditional style, really, rather than trying to be commercially poppy, if that makes sense there, really. There's also, as I said there's also one song that sort of piqued my interest a little bit, like whether I put it on my YouTube playlist that we're running, I don't know yet, but it was one that sort of that took my attention there, really.
Yeah, I think I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what they were saying, but I get the feeling that they weren't singing about sex, drugs, rock and roll kind of thing. I don't know. I think it was more kind of Well, I don't know. I don't know.
You know, being Sinaloa, maybe they were. I don't know, but
Yeah, Sinaloa could be drugs, but I don't know. It sounded like quite, what's the word? Nice music, nice lyrics. But maybe if someone speaks Spanish who knows about this group that is watching this review, then yeah, please tell us in the comment section below.
So I don't know also well as because towards the end there was then one particular song where because I've obviously tried to look at the translation of what the titles are, which I'll go through when we go through each track. And then with one of them, there was obviously one of the particular songs there was lots of different versions of. And so I don't know if it's with a lot of these tracks, but I definitely think some of them I think they were generally older songs that have just been sort of not updated, but a more modern version potentially.
When you say are older songs sung by them or not?
No, like covers. They would have been covers.
Or for all we know, they might all be covers.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know there's definitely one particular that definitely is. I didn't look much into because that wasn't what we do our reviews about really. It's about their version of the song or what they're doing. It just so happens with the last one, found out that it was, and I had listened to the original one, which I'll get onto that when we get to that particular track. But that's again where I feel like that blues feel, and it's more an older style music, just up to date.
Okay, so let's go through each track then. The first song on the album was the same name as the title of the album, so Mi Sangre en Licor. So obviously, it's always strange, like when you listen to a song, when you listen to the first song on the album, because you don't know what you're going to get, especially with an album like this. So some of the stuff I say here, kind of, how can I say? I don't know. Like the first song is kind of my initial feelings, really. So I felt my initial first thing I thought was it felt a bit amateur. So I don't know. I kind of meant like it was a bit like a few people had just picked up a few instruments and started playing them, and then someone was singing over it, kind of thing. That's kind of what it felt. It didn't feel like this was like recorded like in a real professional way. It just felt quite amateur, not in a negative way. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the kind of the initial feeling I got. And then I wrote down, never heard this type of music before. I found it quite raw. Again, kind of maybe related to the amateur side of things. And it felt like group singing, but then as the album went on, maybe it wasn't group singing, maybe it was just one guy, but the way his voice was, it sounded like it was more than one person singing at the same time. But yeah, like I said, maybe it wasn't. And it sounded I'm not very good with instruments. I'm not a musical person. Sounded like it was an accordion, but I'm not sure.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So just an intriguing start. I wouldn't say I like the song, but thought, okay, this is something different.
Yes, again, you're right. So obviously, definitely first, especially going totally blind. Well, I wouldn't say totally blind. We kind of got the idea it was obviously going to be Mexican music, but what I'm saying, going blind, and it's your real first insight to what you're going to be listening to. And funny enough, the same sort of lines that you said there, I've still put the singing didn't seem that great. It kind of felt like drunk karaoke. That's the way I summed it up. And again, big words here for the accordion. Now, you said in your intro also, you don't like loud music or loud guitar, rock guitars. So I felt with the accordion is a common theme with a lot of the songs here. I felt that was like what your kind of like the electric guitar probably is like. It just felt very loud, overpowering, and just too much. And we should have known that because actually I really looked at the album cover, and the album does say the band, and it's something to do with accordion. So there's obviously going to be accordion theme to that. And if you did want to know the translation, so Lee's probably going to do all the Spanish side because he's very good at languages. So this song was actually titled My Blood in Liquor. So whether that had my imprint of, thinking of drinking and being drunk, or maybe it was meant to be like that. Liqueur, drinking, kind of drunk, the amateurs feeling, but yeah, it was a unusual start opening to the album.
Okay, second song was El Perón. Put down simple song, just quite simple. It's like just playing a few strings on an instrument. It was it was okay. It was, again, a bit like the first one, just okay. Obviously, by this time now, it's the second song, so I kind of, having listened to the first song, I kind of knew a little bit more about their style of music, very slightly. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a title song. So it's referred to an outdoor a stairway leading to some form of entrance, but in Mexican, it can also be a slang for kick-ass, which I think is probably more the title sort of going for there. And yeah, like you sort of like the guitar work with this one. Actually says quite reminiscent of Beatles guitar. And it's funny because obviously this particular album, was it from the early noughties, was it again, or 2000, or maybe late mid 2015 or something?
Not sure.
I can't remember. Yeah, but anyway, the fact was that it actually sounded could be like from the like our time, like sort of the 60s or 70s. But otherwise, yeah, nice guitars in. Just again, just a listenable, nice-ish song, really.
Yeah. Potonto was next. Put down similar style to the previous song, easy enough to listen to. So again, I'm just kind of getting through the first three songs, thinking, okay, it's all right. But I started to notice like a kind of trend. The songs were at that up to that point were all quite similar to an extent.
Yeah, sort of what I put there. So this is translated to for fall, so FORFOOL for fall. And yeah, I said the same thing, kind of similar to the previous track. And it's at this point where I was really wanting to probably know what the meanings of the songs or what they were actually singing about. Because I think that's probably where you really get, I wouldn't say an enjoyment from the song, but the understanding of the song is more about what they're trying to say rather than what they're playing, how they're playing it really. I also made a note that I kind of found maybe the singing was getting a bit better, but I don't know if I was just getting more used to it and just know what to expect. It seemed like the singing was improving, or the seriousness was better.
Okay. The next song was Coincidencia. So I put down nice start with a girl on the phone. The man phoned the girl or something. Which is a bit, I wasn't expecting that. It wasn't, after the first three songs, I don't know, just that was a bit of a surprise. I put this
very
song
90s hip hop album, isn't it? Having this.
Yeah. This song is a bit more lively. So I thought this song was different to the first three. A little bit of a difference in style. Not bad. Nice chorus with a familiar word in Spanish. So I'm presuming that coincidencia means coincidence.
Very good.
Yeah. And they kind of were using it in the chorus. I was like, oh, I know what this word means. And I quite like that. The chorus was all right. So probably up to this point, I'd say that was the best song for me so far after the first four tracks.
Yeah, same sort of things I put there. And again, I was sort of putting the fact, again, wanting to know what they're singing about seemed to be point there, a bit more upbeat. However, at this point, again, the accordion is just overpowering everything. It's just, I've got nothing against the accordion at all. I don't know if on this, it just seems too much. I think trying to play that and then trying to sing on top of it as well, I don't think it's the type instrument to be able to do so. And that's what, yeah, so it's been my beat, but yeah, just the accordion kind of really ruined it for me.
Okay. Los Trabajos was next. I'm looking forward to your translation of that. I know that trabaja is work, but this is trabajos, so I'm guessing that's something different. But anyway, similar to songs before Coincidencia. So this is like going back to the first three tracks, that kind of style. I kind of thought that I wrote it down for this song, but I think this could be applied to all of the songs. The instrumentals play a big part in the songs, even though they are simple, quite simply played. But I think the instruments are important to their style of music, should we say?
Yeah, so translation. So again, I'm making one, but again, I've got it the same here. Is actually is the works.
See, I said tobacco is work.
Yeah, so it's just a plural for works. But again, it could be, the trouble is it may have been sort of, there's also Mexico, because obviously Spanish in Spain is probably different to Spanish in Mexico, and there will be different slangs and different terminology, but apparently it might be, it's the works. So again, yeah, a bit better. I like the point you make, yeah, and I agree. Sort of the music is the I don't know, I've said the words and what they're singing about is important, but again, with the instruments, I think there was a nice balance with this one. And for some reason, this really reminded me a lot of sort of old style, like old UK, like from the 60s and 70s, kids' TV animated or puppet shows. Again, it's really hard to explain. I think unless you've seen the type of things, it kind of sort of would make sense there. But yeah, good balance in the music and singing. And like I said, just reminded me of that old style UK TV kids shows, really.
Next, we had Que Levante la Mano. So this one, before I listened to it, I knew it was going to be a short song. I think it was about 2 minutes, 2 seconds long or something like that. And I wasn't expecting it to be like it was. It was really lively from the start. It just got going straight away. Fast, really fast singing. And it got my head bopping. You know, I was bopping along to it. It was great. And for me, that was the best song so far, but it turned out to be, for me, the best song on the album. And that's a potential download for me. I wanted to listen to it again, but I really like the chorus. I just like the fact it was all just, it just got me going. It was exciting. It was fast paced. It was good.
Yeah, totally agree. This is the one I sort of like from the album. Think whether I'll put it back on when I listen to it again, maybe we'll see. It translates as "Raise Your Hands," and yeah, really upbeat. Found myself enjoying that a little bit more. And again, I really like the ending. There was that sort of an ending, which again, I can describe it sort of almost like a Beatles ending, good guitar work. Just felt really good there. I put a question in my head. This may be also a possible cover potentially, because again, when I was looking at, again, loads of different. But again, because it's "Raise Your Hands," there could be loads of titles of songs which have those same words in their same order. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, but there's a chance it could be a cover, which would be a shame, because I like to think this was their own song. But I might do more research and find out and see. But otherwise, yeah, best song on the album for me. Really enjoyed it.
Good. Next was El Ayudante. I like this one as well. Quite a nice song with a nice little speaking bit in the middle as well. I like it when they sort of speak a bit of Spanish. I think one thing to add as well, not just about this song, I generally like, even though I can't speak Spanish, I like Spanish words in music, like just Spanish lyrics. I just think it's quite nice. It kind of takes your imagination somewhere. You know, when it's like German or something, it's like, oh, I don't know, it's all hard, you know, hard sounding. But I don't know, something a bit kind of magical in a way about Spanish, just the language is when it's used in songs. So yeah, I like this song. Probably the second best song for me. But I probably won't say I'd download it, but not bad.
Yeah. So this translates as assistant. And like, yeah, just sort of like a slower version of the one before. Really sort of nice song. And this is where I made the reference to sort of blues music. So again, actually wanted to hear what they're actually singing about. And yeah, your point about Spanish. I know, I think when you hear sort of Spanish words, it always, well, for me, has sort of, it always gives you like sort of a summer, warm, you know, on the beach kind of feeling. Whilst I imagine German music as well, when you hear German stuff, it always seems to me like dance or trance. That's how I sort of picture it there. And obviously recently, we've obviously got a lot of songs in the UK. It's always been in the past as well, where I think that sort of Spanish being used into songs and rapping, and that it actually comes in quite a lot more recently. And it always has been, but it seems at the moment it's sort of to be back in popular demand again. But yeah, again, just sort of a nice slower version song, really.
Okay. We then had Me Gusta Tenor de a Dos. There was a speaking bit in the middle where just sort of stopped singing and started speaking. And not as good, this one for me. Didn't quite like this one as much as the previous couple.
Yeah, so this one, it felt almost, even though I agree with you, I prefer the one before. It almost felt like it could have been like the same song. It almost felt like the same tempo, same sort of singing, just sort of carried on. Um, and the translation for this one is, I like to have two girls.
So maybe what I was saying earlier about this not being about sex and stuff, maybe I don't know, maybe it was. God
I don't-
knows.
well, it depends what we're referring to. I don't know, but yeah, but it turns out, yeah, I like to have two girls.
Okay. Um, Next track was Le Despedida. Very accordion heavy, like in track one. I just found the song in general a little bit lackluster, a bit boring. So not so keen on this one either.
Yeah, so this translates as the farewell, or could be the farewell party. Um, and yeah, I kind of said at the time that this could sound like this could just be the whole album. If you wanted to get a whole sum of the album, apart from the one slightly song that stood out, you could listen to this, and this would be pretty much what you get. Again, very heavy on the accordion, and like a lot of the other songs, it just doesn't go up, doesn't go down. It's just the same throughout, which again I keep repeating. I think that's why I think maybe the words and maybe the fact they're actually older songs, which may be the reason for that. But yeah, didn't do anything really.
The last track then, El Manicero. This is the longest one. This was like over 9 minutes long. I don't know where to begin with this one. So this was nothing like any of the other tracks. Um, so right at the beginning, they were playing an instrument. I'm sure Brett, you can tell me what this was. I put down it was either a fast. They were playing like the guitar, banjo, ukulele. I don't know what it was. Like very fast, quickly at the beginning. Um, then we experienced some strange sounds. Felt a bit weird, experimental or something. Very different to the other songs. They were having a chat with each other. It seemed during the middle of it, like or arguing, not arguing with each other, but kind of talking to each other of some way. I don't know. The whole thing felt very odd. I wouldn't class it as a song. And at the end, again, I don't speak Spanish, but they were clearly thanking us for listening. I don't know, to the song or to the album as a whole. Is it kind of a nice way to end maybe the album? Because they were, I guess, if they were thanking us for it, kind of, it was like their farewell track, even though, as you said, the previous track was the farewell. So I didn't quite understand
Yeah,
that.
so,
Um, but I think maybe it's just maybe a traditional kind of Mexican way of ending like an album or like a show kind of thing. That's kind of what it was. They were kind of finishing off with this long thing, talking, saying stuff in the middle that I didn't understand, obviously. Um, yeah, just a weird one for me, that.
yeah, really strange. So the translation for this one is the peanut vendor. Um, so it seems a bit fun. So this is why I said this is definitely a cover. So I have heard a different version of this particular song, and actually quite like. So I don't know. I think it's just them doing a cover song, and yeah, I said about them sort of messing up and having an argument on purpose. Is that just part of the thing? Otherwise, yeah, experimental with loads of sounds. I don't know the name of the type of guitar, but it's a traditional sort of Mexican stuff like macaroni buns, and that's traditionally used. Play very, very quickly. I think if you get a chance to listen to original version, which I've got a name here, and again, I don't know if he's even the original person, but Antonio Machen, um, I preferred his version there. It's just a weird way to sort of end it. I totally agree. It was just sort of how the album starts, where it was a bit weird and a bit sort of what were they really doing? Were they sure? And the same sort of happens with the ending there, really.
Okay. So yeah, I guess that's the end of our album review. Just to sum up, I would say, as I said at the beginning, it's something different and um, enjoyed it to an extent. I think rather than maybe enjoying the actual music, I just enjoyed the fact it was a bit different, something unique for me to listen to. And there was the odd track there, that song that was actually not bad, especially the one that I mentioned there, the short song that I took a fancy to. So yeah, overall not bad, I'd say. Interesting.
Yeah, to agree. I think just something a little bit different. Like I said, it's being more critical of the album. So bar that one song, the rest of it probably never really sort of listened to it again. But like like the fact we've tried to listen to it and it's something different. And good, we saw some comparables there as well. And if there's anyone listening who does have very good Spanish and wants to tell us a little bit more about some of these songs or what they mean, love to hear more about it. Or if you're from Mexico and you know this band and know what it's all about as well, be interested to hear more on that as well. But yeah, glad to be introduced to it. If it's critical of the album, as I said, bar that one song, doesn't really overly do it for me.
I think it'd be fair to say that we do love, me and you, we love Mexico. We do love Mexico. So yeah, any Mexicans on here, get typing, let us know about this group, about what they're singing about. So yeah, don't have to be Mexican. You could be anyone if if you know the group, know the music, or just know Spanish. Yeah, that'd be good. And I think that's it from us. So our next step now will be this is our 10th one, wasn't it?
This was indeed, yeah.
So yeah, guys, we're going to be reviewing the 10 albums that we've just listened to, excluding the Christmas and New Year special, and we're going to rank them into the order we think they should be in. So join us next Sunday for that. So guys, thank you for listening and watching. Goodbye.
Adios.
Adios, amigos.